Hello, my name is Cody Reed, driver of the number 25 Chevrolet Silverado for Blackjack Racing. Got me some chocolate milk. Feels great being in round of 12.
Round 12.
How does it feel to be in the round of 12? Well, it's pretty awesome. I'm glad to finally be in the second round of playoffs. I've actually never made it this far so far in the ISRC Truck Series. So it's pretty dang cool to finally be a chance to be possibly a champion driver and be even close. I mean, it would be awesome to make the round of 8.
I think this was expected. It's even better that all 3 of my team members are in here, me, Norris, and Cedric. I expected to be here, and I was really excited for this round.
Name's Ethan Smith, driver of the 00, team's Blackjack Racing. Being in the round of 12 is nice. You know, I always try to do really well on the first race of a round, just so I can be a little bit of a cushion. Just in case anything happens and I don't have the race I want. I'm still aiming for the round of 4, champ 4. It's never changed, and it's not going to change. That's my goal, and if it's anything less, I'm not okay with it. I'm not happy about it.
It feels great. Coming off the win at Tega, coming into this round with all the momentum in the world, feels great. It's kind of where we kind of expected to be. We just wanted to make a deep run to the playoffs. Try to show up and show out. It was good to be here, especially seeing a second season I've been here, second time we've been into the playoffs this deep. Hopefully we can keep it rolling, make it to the final round of 4. But before that, we got to take care of the business at these next 2 tracks.
My biggest competitor is myself. I can race against anyone like Mark, Cedric, all of Blackjack, everybody, but the person I have to struggle with the most is myself. It's staying focused, staying positive when things happen in the race, just developing strategy as it happens. So it would have to be myself. That's my biggest competitor.
Who is my biggest competitor I'm watching out for? Honestly, it's kind of hard to say. I feel like it'd be disrespectful to count anybody out that's made it this far into the playoffs. Everybody that made it there deserves it. They've all put in effort. They've all had good runs. So picking out one person, that'd be pretty hard to do, because I feel like it'd be disrespectful for everybody else. So I'm just saying we're just, everybody's, I don't want to say enemy, but everybody's your enemy, and you're just trying to go out there and beat everybody. That's about the only thing you can do. So that's what we're going to try to do.
I think the biggest threat is going to be Danny Cochran. He's started to get on a roll. He's picking up the pace, and more credit to him. He's really fast. He's tough to beat, but hopefully the momentum will shift in my favor eventually.
I would say Nick Crawford. He has every right and reason to wreck me at any given circumstance. I've wrecked him probably at half of the races this season, but he seems pretty chill. Talking to him like during practice sessions and just outside, he seems pretty chill with me for the most part. I'm sure if it was like him moving me for the win, he would do it, but I think Trenton Jump is probably my biggest threat going into this round. Not because I'm going to be competing with him, because he's miles faster than me. It's just, if he's like lapping me down, he will not be afraid to use the bumper on me, I'm pretty sure. So
Who's the biggest competitor you are watching out for this round? Honestly, it's probably Cody Reed. Me and him, talent levels are pretty dang similar, so I'm expecting to have to go hand to hand against him and see which one of us makes it out.
For Road America,
it seems pretty simple at first, and it's not simple at all. It is horrible, and I hate it a lot.
It's an up and downhill track with many twists and many turns. It can be a very interesting one.
But this is probably one of the biggest, longest road courses that we go to. It's a handful, especially if you don't get any practice or if you never run there. It'll eat your breakfast and then kick you in the butt.
It's going to be Cody Reed, and that of Ethan Smith, Ollie Fonseca, Logan Brady going to be your top 10. Pace car is off. Let's get ready to roll in playoff racing style, road course racing here at Road America, as it is that of the Lid Sports Group 140, and we're green as we head down into turn number 1.
A great start for Trenton Jump on that outer groove here. Nick Crawford not able to stay right with him and almost noses clear of him, but I think Nick Crawford going to go deep in here into turn 1, but almost Danny Cochran into the back bumper. They're going to stay side by side here, exiting out turn 1 as they head down to 2 and 3 here. As you can see, the rear end's already stepping out. Everybody heading down to turn 5 here with the hardest braking zone of this track downhill. Right there you can see from the back bumper cam, 3 wide as Whitley takes that position, but he goes almost around there.
First, couple laps there were a little dicey. I know it was I think on the first lap, me and Danny, I was made a look underneath him going, I think it was into turn 5, and I kind of locked the brakes up, and I had to go underneath him, or I was going to completely run him over. And I think we wound up 3 wide with Cedric, and I didn't really want to do that, especially that early in the race, but it was that or we all wrecked.
This would be a place that he could possibly look to get himself locked into that next round, and it's already looking good. But Danny Cochran behind this, the 31 goes around in the background. You can see the smoke back there because, man, the 31 just goes right around, and that was a simple mistake. Even Christopher Norris passes Mark Whitley, so everything is going sideways here.
From 3rd to outside the top 10, and you want to be inside the top 10. Those bonus points, so useful, and you're going to want every single point possible. I mean, last round, Ethan Smith now goes into the gravel, but Zach, last round, it was a 3-way tie on who was going to move on into racing in this round as well.
The thing you brought up saying it's only the first now, and now the second lap. So this is only going to continue to get worse and worse as the night goes on, as those tires get more wear. And Christopher Norris now up in the Canada corner. It's just mistake after mistake here plaguing these drivers.
That was something that I was talking with the drivers about. It was all about who can minimize those mistakes. Just keep your car on track. I was talking to Noah Steele even about that. With the 8, he does not feel comfortable. One of the drivers that's the lowest down in points, and he even knew that he had to minimize mistakes. Cedric Hunter then goes off as he falls down a couple of positions. Everyone slipping and sliding. This is only the first lap. Second lap being completed. We're on lap 3.
I'm sorry. You take it, man.
Got to be careful, and I think that Jonathan Smith might have been one of those drivers that went over that limit as the 31 goes off track for a second there.
Yeah, and you can add one more to his total, and he's already spun, so he got a lost control earlier, which is usually 2 points there given to your incident limit. And yeah, that incident limit is going to be worrying a lot of drivers here because already 7 laps, I'm sure a lot of them have piled up. A good portion is over in the forms, and it's all stacking up in the background. Braking goes up. Yeah, it's just everywhere here tonight. These drivers cannot find any safe spot on this racetrack, and he's trying to get that thing going. And you can see no grip in the dirt and in that grass.
Oh no, in front, in 4th place, Cedric Hunter, hard contact through the S's.
And that is going to end his night. You can see it there. That machine is smoking. That is engine damage. You do not have a fast repair here at the ISRC Race Car Graveyard Truck Series. And man, that is a huge moment for him because this could be like his playoff, picture going away here. This could really set him up where he has to go into Nashville Fairgrounds and almost win.
There was a lot of other people that had issues. Cedric, he did his best barrel roll impression through the kink. I know there's a few other people, they all just having issues, so I knew pretty much during the race it was just stay on the track. As long as you can stay on the track, you can make up a lot of time on people, even if they're faster than you, because if they go off track, then they lose seconds at a time, not just tenths or hundredths.
John, I just want to say this before we both inevitably end up wrecking, but this is some of the most fun I've ever had. Oh yeah, this is so much fun.
That's not what I meant to do, but I was there.
I gave you room, I thought, but I'll have to check what happened. I'll take responsibility for that. I just called it like a second ago, I think.
10th place, but here comes Dakota, who's about to take that position, and now John Forbes in 7th place goes off course.
Oh, it's just everywhere on this track. You're never safe, like I said before, and Forbes now getting back up to speed. And
Walked him up, Norris, sorry.
Oh, good. I was watching my mirror.
Our top 10 going to be from the stage break. Nick Crawford, Trent Jump, Mark Whitley going to be our top 3, with Christopher Norris getting 4th. 5th goes to Cochran. 6th goes to Cody Reed. John Forbes going to take 7th. 8th is going to be Ethan Smith. Dakota Moniz takes 9th. 10th goes to Noah Steele. As tonight, you are watching the ISRC Race Car Graveyard Truck Series on Freaky Fast Broadcasting. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to playoff racing action for the ISRC Race Car Graveyard Truck Series. Stages are done. It's about racing it to the end, and we've got some drivers that are mixed up all over the place. Ollie Fonseca deciding to pit under green during stage 1. He's on the old tires. He's going to be starting on the inside, on that right side, ready to get rolling. As also dropping all the way back to 14th, Trent Jump. How will he go? How will this restart go? Well, let's find out as we're green for that of the Lit Sports Group 140. And for Trent Jump, that's only back in 13th place. He's got a complete hill to climb if he wants to be moving forward. Save for that of Mark Whitley that are both back trapped in 12th and 13th place.
oh, we had a car off in the grass here heading down to this corner, turn 5, and
Sorry, Tyler.
You're all good. I was just thinking about the other 14 cars in front of us.
Certified green moment.
I don't think damage really here. It's only 4 cars.
That's Cody Reed.
That's Cody Reed. Oh no, that's not what the 25 wants to do. He is just dirt tracking and trying to get back out there, man. That is not what the 25 needs here. He had a good first stage. Now he's going to start to get back up to speed. And
I'm sorry, Logan. I just locked him up.
I'm not surprised.
Recap of Road America. Qualified on pole, fastest in practice. The qualifying lap was half a second faster than everyone. Led pretty much every lap, won the stage. Everything was going good. Until, like one of those free trials. Here's your free trial of leading a race, doing the best out of anyone there. And then you have to renew it mid-race.
quickly around John Forbes, who makes the smart decision to just let both of them go quickly by as he knows he's racing his own race.
I mean, it's a quick, knowledgeable state of what you need to do. As Nick Crawford, you see it on our ticket board, dominating this race, and he has disappeared. He has not come back. The 4 saw Cody Reed have the same issue during that of pacing, but Nick Crawford may not be coming back this go around.
Nick, can I tell you a secret? Of course, it can wait.
Go ahead.
I really hate that you're so much faster than me on a corner 8. Guys, Nick just blinked out, and he's not back.
Come on, man, where'd he go? I can't mentally handle this right now.
Norris, is he in the Discord?
He is not.
Well, now I really feel bad. Rip.
Yeah, he just left the Discord too. This is depressing.
Made our way up to the top 5 or 4th or somewhere, and then all of a sudden you see at the top of the thing, Nick Crawford's disconnected due to connection or whatever. And after that, I think everybody in the unfortunately everybody after that point just knew it was fair game. Everything was to go for, because Nick had been so head and shoulders above the entire field. Like, he was pulling away on the stage. He'd already started walking away at the second part of the race. I mean, it was pretty much like everybody was racing for second, but then he disconnects and it's like, okay, game on. Now we can go try to get a win. And
Spicy heading down into 1.
Ollie Fonseca might have had to take off his playoff banner from the 24 after 2 weeks ago when the tiebreaker wasn't able to move on. But now, being the block, being the defensive moves, going high, low, everywhere you can go. And now in the defensive high line, trying to get the better exit at turn number 1. Still side by side with Mark Whitley. That's allowing Norris to pull away. But now Trenton Jump, he's got to decide who does he want to align with to help out. Is there going to be side by side to turn 3? Fonseca's off the track.
Just like that, Fonseca gives up 2 spots in 1 corner, and that is tough break for him.
They've got to worry about is we're actually going to bump over to second place, because that Christopher Norris tried his darndest to hold on, but not for very long, as Mark Whitley makes the pass, trying to make the crossover move, was the 38, and almost threw away that positioning with that move.
Sorry, Trenton, I thought this was a rally cross track.
There's Mark Whitley. We jump up to him.
Diddy Cochran! Sorry to cut you off, Zach, but he goes off track and about over that 3 seconds of a gap lead. Throw it away. It's now less than almost a second with Mark Whitley right on the back bumper.
And I tell you what, Mark Whitley blew turn 5. If he didn't do that, he would have been even closer. So that right there is a huge mistake from both of them.
Is there a break? I mean, I'm trying to make the corner and you pull right on the racing line. What do you want me to do?
Let off the throttle, you can turn right. I do it all the time.
10-4, dude.
I'm glad we're still going, but...
Hold on to it.
I'm surprised I've only done that once this race.
Up behind him to be able to get that run here, heading down into Canada Corner. Norris did a great job through Canada Corner, but like you said, he's catching them in not great spots here, heading to 13. This isn't a passing zone, but turn 14, you can set up here for this long straightaway, but he's going to look to the inside and catch a little bit of the grass almost. Ooh, don't want to be doing that, because that grass can really hurt you.
Grass is practically like ice. You're out there on track with the way the physics work for themselves. But here comes the draft. That's the right physics that you want to see, as you're seeing Ollie Fonseca taking all the way to the pit wall, trying to defend that inside lane. Here comes Norris to the outside, side by side down into turn number 1. This is for 4th place. Major points to be grabbed for Christopher Norris, as he's going to take it the long way around on the outside. Got to be careful as Ollie Fonseca pushes it high.
Yeah, that is great racing from both of those drivers, really using every single bit of the racetrack there to race there. Here comes the crossover, though, down out of 3, and that was a great move by the 38, but he loses a little bit of the rear end with the 24 stepping out also. Now he'll be looking for the draft once again, heading down to turn 5, in my opinion, the best spot to pass on this racetrack, but it's also very easy to do. But Fonseca, he is not playing around. He wants to hold off this position. This could get a little bit messy.
And this is something I wanted to bring up earlier, but you just have been watching so much great action. Ollie Fonseca goes off. He's going to completely throw it away. There you go through that of Thunder Valley. You're going to be going, weaving through the S's, marching your way through turns 13 and over to the corner of turn 14. Danny Cochran gonna be able to take tonight. Yes, oh no, off the corner. He saw that of the lap car, overcorrects, giving us a scare, and able to read correct, get it back on track. And now we can say, booking his ticket to the round of 8. Danny Cochran wins here at Road America.
Ooh, that was almost a little bit climactic.
Trying to jump. Whoa, trying to jump, having issues coming out of turn number 14. Christopher Norris is coming out of the corner clean. Can he get up the hill fast enough? The 38 trying to ramp it up the hill, but he won't get there in time. Or will he? It's going to be side by side, potentially at the line. And no, Trent holds on as Norris almost stealing it, as Ollie Fonseca will take 5th.
Danny, I heard you almost choked it. In the biggest way. Dude, I was watching Noah, and obviously he didn't do anything wrong, but I was watching him and completely missed my last corner. Good run, guys. Mark, dude, I'm telling you, you had me sweating.
If I weren't trying so fucking hard and burnt, I might have been able to close in on you there at the end. But, good run. I wish I would have practiced more, but yeah, good win.
Good job, Danny.
Give a recap of your Road America race. Actually, it went pretty well. I was able to get a great qualifying spot due to help with my teammates. I believe I secured a top 10, but I was able to move on and do pretty well. I think the highest I got was about 3rd. I definitely was not a winning driver without any luck, but I was fortunately able to get into the top 5 and stay there all night.
So, a recap of my Road America race. I was pretty fast in practice throughout the week. I thought I had a chance at maybe contending for like a top 5. That did not happen. I got into, or Ollie got into me, on lap 4. Not even lap 4, it was like lap 2. He doesn't even remember it happening, so it wasn't really that big of a deal. It only gave me like 20 seconds of damage. It didn't really affect me much, but it did happen. It got me in a position to get passed by a couple of other people, including Norris, who I was behind, and I got stuck behind him. He made a mistake or something. I think he said he couldn't feel his force feedback for a little bit. That made me drop back a little bit, and then I ended up getting in the grass. That was not good. I was in the grass a lot. I was sliding a lot. You could see that during the broadcast. I was pretty much turning right during every left turn and turning left during every right turn, like completely. It was pretty awful, but we took it home like the top 10 or something. 7 points above the cut line, so pretty comfortable going into Nashville.
Road America was all right. I'm not a road course driver, so to get 7th or 8th, I was happy about it. I mean, I just wanted to kind of finish that race and not, wreck out or be dead last.
I worked the car so hard, the tires so hard that probably the last 5 laps, it was just gone. I was just kind of hanging on, and I was still pushing it, but he was just walking away from me. And I wish I'd been a little bit closer, because I think on the last lap he went a little deep in the last corner and about gave it to me anyway. But you know what? 2nd place to start this round of the playoffs, I'll take it any day of the week. It's, especially when I didn't get the practice I wanted to. I mean, I feel like we're on a roll right now when it comes into the playoffs. We went to Rockingham, not a great track. We got a top 10. We won Dega, which is always a huge surprise. And then we come in here, a track we didn't get a lot of practice, and we got second. And so I think we're in a very good position right now in the playoffs.
How has practice been for Nashville Fairgrounds? Well, actually, pretty bad. So it wasn't very good. I practiced with my teammates that night. We spent about 2 hours right before the race happened, and we got it done.
When practicing for Nashville, it was just kind of trying to get any kind of test session throughout the week. Work was busy, and then home was busy. We got all the holidays coming up, so there wasn't a lot of time to practice. And when we did get practice, it was like a test session here, test session there, or a hosted race right before the actual race. That was probably the most practice I have for this last race.
You want to turn as many laps as you can before you get to race time. You know, it just the more time you can put into a track and learning every bump and every curve of it, the better your result's going to be. And that's based off my personal experience. It's based off what anybody in the real life game will tell you. You know, the more time and the more laps you can put on any given track, the better outcome you're going to have whenever it does finally come time to go racing. So, you know, Nashville practice, it went really well. Done a lot of practicing with Ethan Smith and Ollie Fonseca. We've done a lot of practicing together, us three. And we figured a few things out, especially in 1 and 2, because that's kind of the trickier end of the track in my opinion. You know, kind of changed up our entries a little bit and figured out how to take a more preferred line through the corner, especially side by side with somebody else.
Pretty hit or miss. I've been really fast on one hand, and then on the other hand, that's only when I'm not wrecking. It's going to be tough to stay out of the wall, to not spin it into turn 3. Not just for me, for everyone. I feel like we're probably going to see a wreck on lap 1. Or if not lap 1, sometime within the first 10 laps. I would not be surprised if there's only like 10 cars on the lead lap like Bristol was. I would not be surprised if that happened.
Practice, I've only done a little bit so far. I actually did get some beforehand. That track is has a lot of nuances to it. My teammate John, he actually used to live in Nashville, and he used to work on a couple super late models that run out there weekly. So I'm going to try to bank on his knowledge of the track and how it works to see if we can't figure out, you know, how to run it, especially on the long run. If we get one, the tires can go away. I know in practice there definitely seemed to be a certain line that was faster, but it could also be very tricky and it could abuse the tires more. So it's going to be, I think staying out front is going to be the key for Nashville.
When I think of Nashville, I think of Music City, Kentucky, the city that stole the NASCAR awards ceremony from Las Vegas. But you know, Nashville seems fun.
Now, not a lot of things remind me of Nashville. I'm not super into country music like some of the other people in the league are. But Nashville, something it reminds me of is Kyle Busch absolutely demolishing a guitar at Nashville Superspeedway when he won. Who knows how long ago? That was like 2010 or something. But yeah, that's what that reminds me of.
Martinsville, actually. It's like a higher bank Martinsville in my opinion, and it's going to be interesting because from what I've seen in practice, it is mostly single file and can be hard to pass unless you dive bomb someone, so good luck.
Just hoping for tonight my teammates and I can, make it to the round of 8. That's our plan. Nashville, same thing, coming up. It's a scary, slick track, hard to pass, especially for a cutoff race. I feel like people are probably gonna really dive it down, and some trucks. It's probably gonna be a bad night for some people. Tempers are probably gonna flare. Tempers are gonna flare. It's gonna happen.
From the unknowns of last week at Road America to the solidifying of who's moving on to the Elite 8 tonight, it's time for more playoff racing action for the ISRC Race Car Graveyard Truck Series. But we got a lot of playoff contenders, 12 in total coming into tonight. Mark Whitley with the best favorite would be having a 15-point advantage. Trenton Jump's got a 10-point advantage. Christopher Norris, 7-point advantage. Ethan Smith, 5 points. Then you've also got John Forrest with a 2-point advantage. Nick Crawford, 7th in points. He's going to be 7th coming into tonight, but only a 1-point advantage over that of going to be Cody Reed. Cody Reed, our bubble driver, 8th in points, but behind him, you got Noah Steele, 7 points out of our Elite 8. You've got Kyle Rochelle, 9 points out of our Elite 8. Eric Stamp, 12 points out, and the biggest shocker, I think, of them all, that of Cedric Hunter, 13 points out from that of our Elite 8, practically in a must-win scenario if he does not get a large amount of points at our stage break. It's time to see who's making it to the Elite 8 as we are green for Welcome to Smashville 175, and down into turn number 1, drivers already trying to hold on for their seats, recognizing the exit turn 2, the disastrous place to find yourself.
And just like that, like I said, that bottom lane was so tough to hold somebody off. It's going to be Danny Cochran losing the lead there to Mark Whitley as he's going to come around and lead lap number 1. That's big for him.
How did my race go at Nashville? My race went about as good as you could ask any race you're ever in to go. We got the best start you could have asked for. Started second, got to the lead coming off of turn 2, and pretty much just stayed there the whole night. There was very little drama. The truck stayed underneath me the entire night. The setup I thought it was it worked out great. It was very much like my style of setup. Like, you could really get it rotated in the center if you knew how to get it into the corner. If you overstepped the bounds, which I did a lot in practice, just trying to learn where the edge was, it would kill the right rear. But if you knew how to just make it rotate and then get it squatting, get it as straight of an exit as you could off the corner, that was how you made speed on the long run. Just trying to make the exit as straight as possible, kind of like Martinsville, where you just want to get off the corner and make that straightaway as long as possible.
A comfortable position for that 77 machine. That 1 bonus point so useful, but already carnage in the back. Driver spun around, that of Joshua Freed in the 96 for himself. Only 2 laps.
I'm so sorry. I didn't expect that checkup.
Right now, Cody Reed, poor qualifying run for himself, and oh no! It's the Cody Reed mistake that we usually see. Self-spins on the front stretch, bringing out the caution right when we were coming to lap 40.
Luckily for him, he might be able to get this thing fired back up in front of Whitley, but I don't think he will, as there goes Whitley around him and Cochran. So, big mistake we just seen there live from the 28.5 machine.
As that's going to be our second caution of the night. Well, guess what? We're back to Green Flag Racing in just a jiffy, as we're back to Green Flag Racing for Welcome to Smashville 175 presented by Lariat Productions. And already, Mark Whitley is gone. Or is he?
Oh, yeah, that got real close and stamp up into the wall as the 99 hat back got into him. They're wrecking, though, as Jonathan Smith, Kyle Rochelle, and Nick Crawford, all of them trying to make it 5, but somehow they keep it straight. But everybody going for any little position here to start off this run.
And then the only real hiccup we had, which I don't even know if you could call it a hiccup, is on like mid-race, a couple people stayed out and I restarted third. And the old tires, they spun tires so bad, getting up to speed, I about just ran over the guy that was leading. And then we went down into turn 1. I really didn't want to force the issue, but then I let off so I wouldn't like get up under the guy more than I wanted to. And then Danny was so close behind me, he actually hit me in the back, and it just shot my truck underneath the other guy. And I'm like, well, I'm already here, might as well go ahead and pass. And we had enough room, and passed him. And after that point, it was pretty much clear sailing the whole night.
The yellow flag comes out. That is your stage break here, sponsored by Larry Arp. As we do a rundown of where our final going to be top 10 drivers, it's going to be Mark Whitley, Danny Cochran, Ollie Fonseca, Ethan Smith, Cedric Hunter going to be your top 5 with Trenton Jump, Noah Steele, as well as Kyle Rochelle, Nick Crawford, and Christopher Norris finishing out your top 10. We're under commercial break. They came back to Green Flag Racing, and pandemonium has now struck the ISRC Race Car Graveyard Truck Series. Here's a replay of what went down. Ethan Smith, Trent Jump running hard against one another, and this is going to collect at least 2 of our playoff contenders here tonight. Trent Jump gets loose, makes contact with Ethan Smith. Smith goes down, and Zach, this is when everything else goes unhinged.
Yeah, it really does go unhinged, because right behind here, you're going to see that 38 come into the picture. He gets a little contact from the 5 of Dakota Maniz coming off of 4. It shoves that 38 down the racetrack, and he's just in the wrong place at the wrong time and right into the side door of Ethan Smith. And guess what? Both of those drivers require damage flags.
Thanks, Jump. I didn't touch you. Well, that's how you keep me out of championship 4. I literally came to a full stop. Like, everyone was stopped on the front stretch. I was just like slowly getting through there, and then Free just backed into me. Yeah, that was a nudge. I'm getting told on net code, because I didn't even get a 0x for any of it, Ethan. That was a nice 8.5 minutes right there. That frees up a spot.
Hey, at least you didn't blow an engine. Keep your mouth shut. I don't know about you, but you won't hear me complaining.
Yeah, but you usually don't make it past this point, so it doesn't matter.
If you keep on talking and you get into the championship 4, you're not going to make the end of the race.
Is that a threat? It's a prediction.
How did yours go for Nashville? Actually, not great at all. We went into the race. I mean, we were okay. I was getting past, trying to save, and little did I know track position was very important with how impossible it was to pass. I wasn't very great. I also wasn't the worst, but I was okay. I was about top 10 with my teammates or so. With Nick at stage, which got me like 1 or 2 points, but then after that, right, like maybe 10 laps up the stage, unfortunately another playoff driver got spun, and I accidentally went head on with him and blew my engine, which ended my night.
Nashville went okay. It was very average for me. There wasn't very many high or low points. I missed the wreck after the restart, but yeah, it was an okay race. Wish it could have been better. It wasn't fast. So that was Nashville.
It's just been lights out all night long. But caution out on the speedway.
Jonathan Smith, 72, going to be spun around in 15th place.
Oh, I'm so sorry, Jonathan.
I got a little loose and we just touched a little.
Nice save. Thank you. Got a little bit of pucker in there. Yeah, I can see why.
As at a turn number 4, put it out at your right, red, white flag, as it that of Mark Whitley. What a run, Zach, that he's had so far. He won back at the cutoff race for the round of 16. Well, he's got a little bit of traffic in front of him. It's his marks, the 77 of Mark Whitley. Give him the win, and as well, give him the record books, as he's going to be now the most winnish driver of the ISRC series now with that win.
Yeah, that's going to give him 7 career wins now, I believe. So the 77, adding to another 7 total. So hitting triple sevens here pretty much tonight, and that's a big moment for the 77, who just a dominant performance. I mean, Danny Cochran definitely fast all night long also. But that 77, he was lights out. Never gave these guys even one shot or one chance to get that lead.
Congrats on the race to 7, Mark. Hell of a race, Danny. Kind of a reverse of last week.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun, dude. Good win.
Well, my Nashville race was pretty okay. My main goal going in was to not hit the wall or hit anyone else, and I met that goal. I didn't really make any contact. I made some like netcode contact with Tyler at one point, but that was about it. I never hit the wall. However, I did spin out, not hitting anything, but I did spin out, which ultimately kind of ruined my chance at getting another round of 8. I probably could have got some stage points if I didn't do that, and I probably would have had a better finishing position overall. I just needed like 3 points, and spinning out did not help that, so the race was kind of okay. I think I finished 12th. Could have been a lot better. Could have been worse, but could have been a lot better.
I mean, all in all, the race went pretty well, you know. I can't complain too much. Started first, finished second. I'm not saying we would have won, but if we could have had the outside on the first start, I think we could have held Mark off for a little while. He was faster than us in clean air. I would have liked to seen how we done in clean air and how he was in dirty air, but that didn't become a reality, unfortunately, because, you know, I brought it up time and time again to the admins, but nobody seems to understand the fact that if you're the pole sitter for a race, you should have lane choice even on the initial start. We have it on every other one, but as the pole sitter, you don't have the advantage of choosing when you go. You don't have the advantage of lane choice, so there's some tracks where if you're starting on the outside or on the right side, you have a bigger advantage than the guy starting on, you know, the left. So I don't understand that. It's really frustrating to me. If we had lane choice and we could have held Mark to the inside off of 2, then we would have been in front of him for a little bit, plain and simple. But I brought it up several times and nobody wants to listen to me on that. So they haven't before, they're not going to. I don't know why, but oh well. It is what it is. They're not going to change that. But, you know, the rest of the race went pretty smooth. We pulled away from the guys behind us, got loose once in front of Cedric, and he was able to get to our back bumper. But you can't pass at Nashville, so we didn't have to worry about that too much. Brought it home second. Can't complain too much about that race overall.
Nashville is so much a rhythm track. If you got off of it for a lap, it'd take you 3 or 4 laps to get back into your rhythm. So one mistake could cost you, 3 laps worth of lap time. So it worked out for us. We had a nice green flag run to the end. I was really getting worried, but about 10 to go, we'd get a caution, and that I would be kind of in a situation where I wouldn't know if I should pit or not, because in the leader in that situation, that if you get a late race restart, it's kind of like everybody does the opposite of what you do. So if I would have pitted, I feel like everybody would have stayed out, and then I would have been back in traffic. Or if I'd have stayed out, everybody would have pitted, and I'd been sitting duck on old tire. So I'm really glad it went green. Didn't add to the drama level too much, which is that's always great, especially at a short track. There's already enough drama, which is short track racing. I didn't need a caution to the end, and thankfully we were able to secure the win. And it, like I said, it was pretty much the perfect race night. I couldn't have asked for anything better from the truck, from the lap cars. They were, nobody tried to race me too hard. They gave me plenty of room. So, I mean, it was about as smooth sailing as you could have asked for.
Pretty cool, happy to be here. We made it to the round of 8 in all 3 seasons so far. I feel like it's expected of us at this point, but I always want to remain grateful to the fact that we are here and that we are still in the fight for a championship. But the goal isn't the round of 8. The goal isn't the round of 4. The goal is a championship. That's what we're all chasing. That's what we all want. So we're going to keep going after that, week in, week out. I got 3 more to do it. Got Indy, Wilkesboro, and then Phoenix?
I'm feeling okay. Not really super excited. I think once I get to the top 4, then I will be. That's when all the nerves will kick in. But this can be a tough top 8. So we'll see how that goes with these upcoming tracks. But I think I'm pretty content right now with making it. Wish a few more of our teammates could have made it. Norris. But that's a whole different situation. Not going to go into that.
How am I feeling about making the Elite 8? I feel great. I feel like we have so much momentum. It's almost like a freight train at this point. We've won 2 races in the playoffs. We finished second in another one. In the other race, I think we finished 7th or 8th at one of my worst tracks. So I feel very confident right now. We finally started I've hit my stride. The whole year, it's been like, I feel like I've had good runs, I've had good speed, just haven't been able to finish it, or something would happen during the race, and we just weren't getting the finishes I thought we deserved. But we're finally getting to the point where it's like, we're having the good runs, we're, leading the laps, we're winning the stages, we're there at the end and we're taking advantage of it. Talladega's a little bit different because it's a super speedway, but we were there and we won the race. Which is, anytime you win a playoff race, it's big. I don't care where you're at. So now we got 3 races left. Like I said, all 3 tracks I feel really good about. They're all 3 really good tracks for me. I would love to say I could just go off and, win the next 3 and just, sweep the rest of the playoffs. But I'm not going to say that, because there's so many good drivers in this league that to think that I'm not trying to. I want to win like every race so far. I want to try to go out and win the rest of the 3 races left, but there's so much tough competition. It's gonna be tough to even win one of them. So we're just gonna put our nose to the grindstone. Just every race tonight, we're just gonna go out there and give it all we got, and hopefully it's good enough for a win, and hopefully it's good enough for a championship.
How do you feel about not making the Elite 8? It's unfortunate. After such a good race at Road America, I hate to have to drop out because of one bad race. I mean, I believe this is like maybe my 2nd or 3rd ever race this season being DNF'd, which is very unfortunate.
Not making the round of 8 kind of sucks. Obviously, I haven't been able to make the round of 8 all 3 seasons so far. Hopefully that'll change next season. But honestly, like, everyone that made the round of 8, I think, deserves it way more than I do. I haven't really had the results this season. Even last season, I had a lot more, like, top 5s, top 10s. This season has been pretty inconsistent for me. I've had my ups and a lot of downs, so I feel kind of neutral about it, about getting knocked out. Like, yeah, it sucks, but I don't think I really would have had anything moving forward, so I'm fine.
If you think that the drama and the action has been intense so far, you haven't seen anything. The next 2 races leading up, trying to get into that championship 4, there's going to be people fighting tooth and nail for 20th place, because every point matters.
You thought these last few rounds were crazy. It's probably going to get crazier. Rivalries building up. A lot of people who shouldn't be in the playoffs who are.
You can't just sit around and lollygag. At this point in the season, the 8 people remaining are the best 8 in the league. They've proven it the whole season. You can't take a night off, especially 2 races only. You got to put your best foot forward. You got to hope you got a golden horseshoe stuck somewhere, and you got to ride with it, because it's going to be intense. Buckle in, get some popcorn ready, and reach up there and pull those belt sides one more time. It's going to be a ride.
Got 3 more weeks of action-packed racing, and you're not going to want to miss a second of it. Only on Freeky Fast Broadcasting.
A lot of people who shouldn't be in the playoffs who are, and probably won't make it to the next round based on previous actions. So tune in.
So it's going to be interesting. We'll find out. I hope you guys enjoy. See you there.
And finally, as an outro, got 3 more weeks of action-packed racing. Wait, hold on. Let me do that again.
Alright. Hi, Sam. First off, I want to say I do apologize for the... There we go. I look pretty. That's all. What issue? I was playing with my earbuds. My mom came up, and now I'm missing the other part. Give me a minute. Oh, I still can't find it, but I was looking in my chat. I found it. Sorry, that's a new one. It's probably been there for 2 years. Okay, so after being an absolute idiot and losing it, it's someone down there. So let me find these questions and we'll be good to go. I hope that was good. Alright, so round of 12. Well, it's not gonna be the pure actions, so no longer in the playoffs. Okay.
Hi. Let's see.
What's up, guys? Back here answering some more questions. Getting straight into it. There we go. Getting straight into it. How did I practice for Nashville? Well, okay. Looks a little bit better.
All right, guys. Well, y'all enjoy the race. I'll catch y'all later.
But it should be fun. See you guys